All right, so if you've been following me for a while, you may know that I'm a huge podcast junkie. I love business podcasts, philosophy podcasts like Law of Attraction, marketing tips, anything about scaling up your business. So today I'm going to list out my current top 10 podcasts that I am listening to as of summer 2020. And I've been listening to podcasts for a long time now. Since before they were even called podcasts. It used to just be called like internet talk radio or something like that. But I was a guest on a show recently and someone asked, what are my favorite podcasts? And I promised them I'd do a post on it later, so here that is. But first, if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, please click the subscribe button below. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers and I would love to cross that mark. So thank you to everyone who's been following along. Now, I'm currently subscribed to about 150 podcasts. And as I was saying before, my topics range from like business strategy, entrepreneurship, marketing, leadership, personal development, philosophy and metaphysics and the law of attraction. So if you're not into that stuff, then this probably won't appeal to you. But if you are, then stick around. And also note that I usually listen to podcasts while I'm running or working out or driving. So my ideal criteria are as follows. First, the average episode length needs to be about 20 minutes or less when I'm listening at about 2x speed. Secondly, it needs to be high quality audio. Third, I love when it's energetic and uplifting since I'm usually working out. I want very little ads in the podcast. I like content with a lot of meat and very little small talk. And I like when the podcast host has interesting guests with thought-provoking takeaways. And I also like when they sprinkle in a variety of topics within the podcast niche and not just repeat the same thing over and over. So with that said, okay, here's my current top 10 list. First, we have Joe Polish's podcast. He has a few different podcasts, but I particularly like Genius Network, 10X Talk, and I Love Marketing. Now, there's some overlap between the shows, so that's why I kind of put them all in one ranking. But I do get value from every single show, so I lump them into that one slot on this list. Next up is Leveling Up, Growth Everywhere, and Daily Business Lessons with Eric Sue. And he also has another one called Marketing School. That's with his friend Neil Patel. Again, there's some overlap there, so I put them both in the same category, but they're hugely beneficial. Next is the Mind Valley podcast with Vishen Lakhiani. Also be sure to check out Vishen's books. This one in particular, Code of the Extraordinary Mind, is one of my top favorite books. And he also just released a new one, The Buddha and the Badass. Next podcast is Refusing to Settle with Clark Kegley. He talks about a lot of success tips and law of attraction. And then there's Building a Story Brand with Donald Miller. Next is How I Built This with Guy Raz. I love a good entrepreneur origin story. And then next up is Masters of Scale with Reid Hoffman. He's the founder of LinkedIn. Great production on this podcast and very interesting storytelling. Next is Built to Sell Radio with John Warrillow. And both of John Warrillow's books are also must-reads for every business owner, so check those out. And the next one is Stitched for Success by Monica Allen. And full disclosure, the host of this podcast is my business partner and life partner, but I have absolutely nothing to do with her podcast, except I was a guest on one episode of the show. So make sure you check that out, Stitched for Success. Next up is the Influential Personal Brand podcast with Rory and AJ Vaden. Now, I'm new to this one, but I'm really enjoying it. Solid content so far, especially if you're trying to build your personal brand. Now, I listen to a ton of other podcasts, but those are my current top 10 based on the criteria that I named earlier. I do also have some other favorites that would have made this list, but they haven't published an episode in a while. I'm not sure why, maybe due to all the stuff that's going on in the world, but they took a break, so I can't list them. Hopefully they'll come back. Not to mention, there are a lot of niche podcasts that I listen to about franchising, the apparel business, public speaking, learning other languages, and those might be appropriate for a different post, but I wanted to keep this video very general. So that's it. I'm always looking for good suggestions for new podcasts. Given what I'm interested in, I'd love to hear what you guys recommend because I can't possibly know about everything that's in there. So please let me know in the comments. And again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please join us on this journey. We're just getting started, but we hope to cross that 1,000 subscriber mark soon. So that's it. This is Ethan King signing out, and I will see you on the next video.